Hello YouTubers, Michael again, doing part 3 of a 5 to 6 part series of my rare PS2 games. I'll get right into it here. The first game I'm going to show is called Ghost in a Shell Standalone Complex, made by Bandai. This is more uncommon than rare, but I didn't see a lot of these copies. And anime games, characters with anime and stuff in them. This was based on the anime TV series and movies. But if this isn't particularly expensive, you can pick that one up relatively cheap. I just add it to a collection. Next game is called Guitar Man, made by Koei. This is a rhythm game. It's a different kind of rhythm game. It's this one always has kind of been a collector's game. It didn't sell very well, and it's kind of a niche game. I only saw a handful of these copies in the wild too, so just keep a lookout for that one if you can. Next game I'm going to show is called God Hand, made by Capcom and Clover Studios, the same studios that did Okami. This is a 3D beat 'em up. It's I had a little bit of fun playing this one. This one used to be about I do think it was $20 even back then at GameStop, and it's kind of held its value pretty well. So that's a collectible game. Next game I'm going to show is Godzilla. I do not own the Unleashed, but the Unleashed is the rare of the version. I just wanted to show that one real quick. Next game I'm going to show is called Gradius 3 and 4. It's a Konami game. Yep, it has the screenshots on the side. It's a shooter game, if you're familiar with the Gradius series. I really have a lot of fun with the Gradius series. I really like this. This actually has 2 games in it. This one is cheaper than Gradius 5, but it's definitely worth picking up. And the next one, obviously, I'm showing is Gradius 5. It's factory sealed. This one was definitely harder to find than 3 and 4. I definitely only saw one of these to every maybe 2 or 3 copies of Gradius 3 and 4. So that's a game to look out for. Next game I'm showing is called Graffiti Kingdom, made by Hot B. It's a customization game. You make your own character, and I think you fight them maybe. It's a different game. And it's different niche, and games that didn't sell very well are definitely rare games. It's a kid-friendly game. I definitely think it's worth to add to any collection. Next games I'm going to show real quick is Grandia 2. They made this for Dreamcast as well. I do believe the Dreamcast version is the superior version. This one isn't. It's more uncommon than rare. Grandia 3. The Grandia series are action RPGs. This is a 2-disc game, so it's a pretty big game. But I really like this Grandia 3. This was probably in my top 20 RPGs in the PS2 system. This one is definitely more uncommon than Grandia 2. And then the rarest and the worst of the series is Grandia Extreme. And this one was made by Enix instead of Square, before they merged. And this one it's supposed to have better voice acting with Mark Hamill and Lisa Loeb and Dean Cain. Dean Cain was Superman. Lisa Loeb was a 90s pop star, and I think people know who Mark Hamill is. But it definitely wasn't as good. It's an action RPG still, but I thought it was very campy. Next game I'm going to show is called Grim Grimoire, made by NIS. This is a strategy RPG, I believe. NIS is always kind of niche. They make mostly Japanese RPGs. They definitely aren't as popular anymore as they were in the golden age of gaming. That one is not an expensive NIS game like some of the others. I did want to show these real quick. There are non-box set editions of the Girl Answer series. So if you just want to play the game, pick those up because they're way cheaper. Next game I'm going to show is going to be called the Guy Game. I think I'm not sure how rare this was, but I do know this is kind of an adult-only game, even though it says mature. There is nudity in it. It's like a trivia game. Just a fun fact. There was a girl that I went to high school with that lived like 2 doors down from me that actually was featured in this game, which I think is pretty funny. But that's kind of the reason I picked it up, and that in adult-only games and mature games like Leisure Suit Larry are harder to find, just because, you know, they didn't appeal to everyone. You know, you had to be 18 or older to buy them. So next game I'm going to show is called Haunting Ground, made by Capcom. This is a survival horror game. It took me a while to get into this game a little bit, but once I did, it got pretty good. I do believe there's like multiple endings and stuff for it. I picked this up when I owned a game shop, and I used to go around selling some of my other wares to other game shops, and I was friends with some of the owners. The owner had this in the back, and he showed it to me, and he's like, "Do you know anything about this game?" And I was like, "I have actually never seen it." I've seen a handful of these copies out in the wild. Only a couple complete though, and he was like, "Oh, I just picked it up. Do you want it?" And I said, "I'll take it." And he sold it to me for $10. I do believe this is like a $60 game now. GameStop used to sell for $12.99, but it's a cool game. I don't know if I'd put $60 into it, but it's definitely a sought after collectible game these days. So next game I'm going to show used to be rare. I do believe they reprinted it. It's called Ico. It is a good game. People compare it to Zelda. I don't compare it to Zelda that much, but it used to command about $30. It's definitely plummeted in price since the reprint. Next game I'm going to show is called Indigo Prophecy. Made by Quantic Dream, the ones that did Heavy Rain. Beyond Two Souls 2, I think. But this was like the first entry in their cinematic type games. So if you're into Quantic Dream games like Heavy Rain and you want to see where they started, this is the game to get. Next game I'm going to show is called Jade Cocoon 2. Jade Cocoon 1 came out for the PS1. This is an action game. I kind of like this game, and it's a weird game made by Ubisoft. I do believe this is sought after by collectors too. It's kind of shot up in price. Again, this was about a $10 game when I was collecting. I think I paid $5 for it at a flea market, but you know, it's a cool addition to a collection. Next game I'm going to show is definitely rare. I do believe the Xbox 360 version of this game is more rare than this, but that's Jurassic Park Operation Genesis, and it is a Jurassic Park park simulator. You build your own Jurassic Park and stuff. There are a lot of cool cheats and stuff for this, you know, where I had a lot of fun with this game, actually. More fun than I thought I would. I thought it'd be kind of stupid. But the cheats allow you, like, with infinite money, and you can make the dinosaurs get out of their cages and stuff. I thought it was pretty cool. So this commands a pretty high price now. It's always commanded a pretty high price, but there was one point GameStop used to sell this for $40. So if that gives you an idea how much it shot up. I think it's like $80 now, maybe more. Next thing I'm going to show, I actually think is rare. And I've only seen 2 copies ever. And that's the IndyCar series. It is a IndyCar game. If you like racing games, do not pick up this game because it's insanely hard. And what I mean by insane is that you'll want to throw your controller through the fucking screen. That's how hard it is. So, but that's not expensive. But expensive doesn't always relate to rare. The next games I'm going to show are all the King of Fighters. I always like the King of Fighters games. King is my girl, but and that Iori, he's a badass. But these are fighting games, 2D fighting games. The double disc ones, which is 2000, 2001, and 2002, 2003 are definitely more sought after. These have always been collectible. I will say it's not a bad bet to collect King of Fighters games because they don't sell as well as the Street Fighters and Mortal Kombats and whatnot. So I found all of these for like under $5 a piece. at flea markets and whatnot. So I do believe the Orochi Saga is the most expensive now. This one used to only be about $7, but I do believe all of them command over $20 complete now. Some of them even go as much as 30 or 40. So that's those are the King of Fighters games. There's also Maximum Impact, which has a collector's box and stuff for it with a bonus disc. Next game I will show is called Kingsfield, the Ancient City H-Tech game. It's a first-person dungeon crawler, I believe. They make Kingsfield games for the PS1. It's the graphics aren't great like most H-Tech games. It's collectible. This used to be a $5 or $6 game at GameStop, and it's shot up in price. Next game I'm going to show is called Klonoa 2. The first Klonoa is very collectible, especially for PS1. It's kind of a weird 2D/3D side-scrolling platforming game. I thought it was actually pretty fun. If you can find that one for a reasonable price, I definitely put it in any collection. Next game I'm going to show, I have only seen one copy of this game, and I sought this out and went to at least 300 different GameStops trying to find this game over the course of months and months and months. And this is the only copy I've ever seen, complete disc only, whatever. So to me, that's pretty damn rare. It's a survival horror game made by H-Tech. It's sought after by collectors now, definitely. But I knew this was going to be a rare game just because of how often I didn't see it. Next game I'm going to show real quick is Legaia 2. I really had a lot of fun with this game. It's a turn-based RPG. And the graphics aren't great, but I thought the gameplay was pretty good. Next game is called Leisure Suit Larry, Magna Cum Laude. I actually had a lot of fun with this game, and I'm not, impressed by, fart humor and perverted humor all that time, but the humor in this was pretty good. They made a PS3 game, Leisure Suit Larry game, that wasn't as good. This is definitely a fun game. You can get this relatively cheap now. Next game I'm going to show is called Magic Pingle and the Quest of Color. This is another creation game made by H-Tech. I didn't see that many copies of this, so I have to believe this is kind of rare. Next game I'm going to show is called Makai Kingdom. I'm running short in time here, guys. But this is a tactical RPG, I believe. I saw a handful of these in the wild, so it might be more uncommon than rare. I know it commands a higher price sometimes. Manakima also made regular versions of their games instead of the box editions. This is an RPG that I kind of liked. It doesn't hold your hand. It's kind of open. You can do whatever you want to. I thought it was a cool RPG to pick up. It isn't particularly expensive, so I just wanted to show that one real quick. And then the last game I'm going to show in this video is going to be called Metal Slug Anthology. If you do not have, a couple grand to put down on a Neo Geo and a Metal Slug game, pick this one up because it's the complete Metal Slug series, 7 games, 1 through 7. And the Metal Slug reminded me of Contra. So if you like Contra games, I'd pick this one up. It's cool. This used to be a $20 game. I think it's gone up a little bit. But, yep, that's part 3 of my PS2 games. Join me next time, guys. Thanks. Bye.